Serious, what is unethical as duck but extremely common in the dating world? Breadcrumbing. You meet someone, aren't exactly interested, but want a backup option. If you just ghost them or reject them, then they won't be around anymore. So instead, you leave a trail of breadcrumbs to keep them hanging. What does that look like? Oh, I'm really busy right now, I'll give you a call later. That, and making plans but always cancelling at the last minute. It gives the illusion of them being interested, while not actually having to be in any sort of real relationship. Lying about your existing relationship status, for example. Saying you're single when you're not. I'm coming off of a 2-month, I don't even know what to call it. When we started, I thought she was single. Turns out she had a boyfriend she was in an open relationship with. Wish I'd known that sooner. Edit. I put open relationship in quotes since I don't even know if it's truly open. She ghosted me a week ago. Going on a break with a serious so to bang someone else and then asking for them back after. I know someone who did this serially for 10 years and had the poor girl convinced that she wasn't good enough for anyone else. Abusive piece of shit. He'd also leave her for long enough to not have to celebrate her birthdays. I know someone who was just like this. He left her for long enough that he wouldn't go with her to get an abortion but asked to come back soon after it was done. Using profile pics when you're 5 years younger and 50 pounds lighter doesn't work when you meet someone in real life. You're attempting to start a relationship on a lie. That's never a good thing. Kinda like the people that only post photos of them and the same to other people in every photo. WHORU. Lying about whether or not you are clean, STD free, and sleeping with them anyway. This is the scariest one, Imo. I imagine in about 80 years we'll have instant readout tests so PPL can jab a finger and prove they're clean before they bump uglies. Edit. Yikes. And maybe in about 81 years we'll have a Gattaca situation with fake fingertips of clean blood. Making plans for a date and just not showing up. I know what you mean. And by that I mean it has never happened to me because I'm a married old guy. But Craigslist bios have been no-shows and broken my heart many times. Then there is that one time that lady drove 3 hours to pick up your used mattress and you're totally blown away when she shows up. Lying about intentions. If you want a one-night stand, say it. Don't lie and say you want a relationship. But I really want a relationship. Just not with you. So you get a one-night stand. There's actually a level where I'm attracted physically to a woman but don't feel the connection enough to think I can see her as a girlfriend. Failure to disclose offspring. I remember going out on a date with a woman, introduced by a co-worker, and I asked if she had kids. She said no. A few weeks later my co-worker commented that my date was out of town with her kids on vacation. I was like, what? Using somebody else's photo as your profile Tinder whatever pic in order to attract them to you and make them go on a date with you. Yeah, that is catfishing, which is an extremely common thing sadly. Stealthing. It's when someone has told you they put on a condom, but at some point they take it off and continue having sex without a condom against your consent. It's an awful violating feeling to find out this has happened to you. I had this happen to me. While I was also drunk and the man was sober. Even drunk me knew he needed a condom, and ended up pregnant. And then miscarrying. And having to get STD testing and therapy. Made for an awful few months and absolutely should be illegal as duck. Ghosting. Like hello, I made you a 4-course meal and decide to not show up. Eats rack of lamb alone using the salt of my tears for dipping sauce. I'm sorry. You made a 4-course meal with lamb for an early date? What's your number? Girls telling guys they can't have any female friends. And or controlling their time with other friends. I had a woman tell me on the 3rd date that she expected me to give her access to my phone and email accounts so that she could check who I was talking to in order for us to have a relationship. I noped out of that one. I had a guy show me everything on his phone. Give me access to his location at all time. etc. all without my asking, or really even wanting it. I was like, who hurt you? A guy sleeping with a girl on the first date and deciding she isn't relationship material based on that fact while still considering himself completely dateable. Edit. Guys who base whether you're relationship material on how quickly you had sex with them and no other factors at all. Drugging people's drinks. Saying that you're not official and somehow it's okay to hurt the other person. I'm talking about people who string others along over 3+ weeks. Sleep with them. Talk to them every day. Share really personal details and involve them in some aspect of their daily life or routine. Then pretending it was actually nothing and that they shouldn't be angry or upset because it wasn't official. Double standards for 3 ways. Met a douche like this when I was 18. Kept trying to pressure me in a 3-way with a girl. Saying to girls is hot. Every girl is a little bee. The usual. I have a strict policy. I can do FMF. But you gotta be open to MFM. Period. No double standards. No. Babe. That's gay. Fine. No FMF. But it's hot. You'll learn to love it. No. I'm fine if a dude says, I'm not into MFM. If you're into FMF without retribution, I'm all for trying it. But I won't force you. But don't go on. And on. And on. About how FMF is hot and MFM is you were gay. 1. Not getting your boyfriend a birthday present when you have the exact same birthday. And making him pay for your dinners and drinks because you spent all your cash on Drew Gus for partying. 2. Making out with their best friend while they are high during your shared birthday when their boyfriend is literally within 30 meters of them. 3. Breaking up you with a text after going to your staff party as a +1 for some free drinks. 4. Coming to your partner's place of work after dumping him to have drinks with your friends. Then trying to kiss him on the cheek before you leave. I do not know why I dated this person for so long. Also none of this is common at all, but I wanted to vent. People just berating their significant others in general. There is so much emotional abuse that happens in relationships without either party being aware that it's abuse. Scouting. When a man or woman makes dates with several people simultaneously on the same night. Then waits until right before the date to decide which one to actually go out with. And cancelling on the other people. Lying about whether you're looking for a relationship just to get laid. Speaking personally. Right out of the gate I tell people I'm romantically interested in that I don't think I'm cut out for relationships and I'll probably never be exclusive with them. And we almost always end up having sex anyways. After that I end up being the side piece or the between relationships guy and I don't have to lie about my intentions. Most dudes are direct or confident enough to do this though. Going on about how much it hurt you when an ex cheated on you. How you can't imagine someone ever doing that to someone that loved them. Then doing it yourself. It lures the so into a false sense of security knowing that if things are going to end they'll probably see it coming miles away or that they won't be lied to rather than being blindsided by infidelity. I've been married for 21 years. My wife and I are going through a separation. I was starting to look forward to dating in the future. Until I read this completely ducked up thread. Now I'm terrified. I'm 29 and never dated before due to shyness and my own insecurities as well as my priorities just being elsewhere, but I just recently joined Tinder and reading all this is killing a lot of my hope in what I might get out of it since I just want a normal meet and date experience, but it seems everyone either wants a one night stand or a free meal or to play with a ducking dog for whatever reason. I've known of some people in the past who would date one person that they were mildly interested in while trying to win the heart of their true romantic interest at the same time. If they got rejected and it didn't work out with the person they liked, they would go back to their so as a sort of safety blanket. It was really messed up. Those relationships were clearly toxic. Dating to have your partner fix you. Whether it's an emotional problem, monetary problem or otherwise, it doesn't seem like the people I've been attracting recently want a relationship. I especially do not like the emotional fix types because often I see women who shouldn't be dating because they are so vulnerable and dependent on you to make them feel validated. It's needy to the extreme and I don't trust either me or them not to become abusive later down the line. Piggybacking off of this, dating people who you find broken but beautiful souls to fix them. You may look like a knight in shining armor, a hero, or whatever delusional grandeur you made up for yourself. But it's shallow and disgusting. I had a friend who says this to girls. Things like I'm going to fix you wherever you are broken. The thing is, he mostly dated unstable or just trashy people. So they ate this shit up. Then they'd cheat on him. Clockwork. However, the main point is, people aren't objects to be fixed. Forcing the guy you met on Tinder to smash you in the woods or else you'll leave him on the side of the road 15 miles from home. Using a person's low self-esteem to get them to do things they don't want to. It's disgusting and abusive. My ex did this all the time. If I said I didn't want to have sex, he'd keep pushing. If I didn't give in, he would end up getting all cold and distant until I'd give him a sympathy handy. And sadly a lot of the time people don't see this as problematic. Last time I posted about this to Reddit, I was told that it's okay because I eventually consented. And that I'm the abusive one for withholding sex. When people don't even try to hide the fact that they're using you for their own selfish pleasure. Not mutual pleasure. Like at least make me not regret taking off my comfy clothes to be disappointed for 3 minutes. Having side dudes chicks is ducked and people do it all the time. There are memes and jokes about it but it really hurts to have someone date you and duck someone else regularly. It messes with you. I still have issues to this day getting over what my ex did to me. He seemed to have an endless supply of side chicks and if I was busy with work, or he was feeling the slightest bit lonely, he'd immediately start phoning a friend to make himself feel better. But also avoided me at all costs on an intimate level. It got to the point where I had a breakdown. This was after he repeatedly told me he wanted a life and family together. etc. Finally I packed my sheet and left him. All the furniture, everything in the apartment was originally mine. I left him without a bed to sleep in. I'm not sorry. He would also use my money to pay for all his food and demand I cook for him while he's in the other room texting some chick. No one should treat another human like that. Going on breaks in a relationship. But in reality they are doing more than going on a break. Not sure exactly. Because this happened a while ago. Dating someone because it's easy. Rather than because you actually like them. Settling isn't really healthy. Fam. And this is my main reason I've been single so long. Yeah, live and learn I guess. Being controlling and saying I'm just jealous because I love you. That doesn't mean you get to go through my phone all the time. Karen. Ghosting. I think that's the most horrible way to end a relationship of any sort. So cruel. Childish and unnecessary. It's not even the rejection that's so bad. It's wondering if you did something or said something wrong. I would prefer if the person just said I don't like you, never contact me again. At least you have some closure. I've been ghosted 4 or 5 times now. And honestly once I send a message and I don't hear back within the day I move on. It's almost a surprise if I do hear back. Lying about their interests. Every ducking Tinder profile has someone saying they like to hike, exercise, travel, and other grandiose shit. I've only met a few women who were just blunt about shit and didn't need to hide behind a fake narrative of their life. If you meet someone outside a dating site, you can at least catch their bullshit early on so you can avoid more red flags down the road. A guy I know lied about his age when he started dating a 16-year-old he met online. He was 27. I don't know how common this is, but it's ducked up. Leading people on even though you have no intentions of dating or even meeting up with that person. You know what? I don't think this happens half as often as people think. I think most of the time you have a message conversation and one of the two decides they don't feel enough interest connection to want to meet up. That doesn't make it leading somebody on or make somebody a faker. Expecting for one person to pay for everything. Funny. Was just dumped about 36 hours ago after she drained my reserves. and wanted to be a kept woman. With a very part-time job. I don't make enough to cover both rents and her food and care for her cats who are old as dirt and have astronomical vet bills. Yeah. Looking back. That whole year was a mistake. Emotionally manipulating somebody to get what you want.